lifelong commitment to education for underserved communities across Thailand.
Thailand will redefine normal sweetness in 2026.
Thailand has issued a health alert after a Nipah virus outbreak in India.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Thai Pulse.
Now it has been 3 months since the passing of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother, and since then it has been a devastating moment for Thais. For this week, we're going to be focusing on Her Majesty's dedication to supporting education for her people. Now, I have to say that education is important for many, not necessarily in the same way, but I think we can all agree that education opens up new doors for a lot of opportunities. But unfortunately, not everyone can get access to good education or basic education that they need in general due to a lot of issues like living in rural areas or having limited resources amongst many other problems. And Her Majesty saw these limitations, so that is why she dedicated her life to support education for the Thais. So with that, let us begin this week's episode. This week's episode, we're going to be honoring the lifelong dedication of Queen Sirikit to education, a cause she believed was fundamental to opportunity, dignity, and national development. Throughout her life, Her Majesty worked tirelessly to ensure that education reached every corner of Thailand, especially children and communities who might otherwise have been left behind. Her Majesty Queen Sirikit believed that education was not only about classrooms and textbooks, but about opening doors to a better life. During royal visits across the country, she observed firsthand the challenges faced by children in rural and remote areas, limited schools, lack of teachers, and families without the means to support continued education. These experiences shaped Her Majesty's lifelong commitment to expanding educational access, particularly for underprivileged and marginalized communities. One of Her Majesty's most impactful contributions to education was her support for scholarship programs. She established royal scholarships to help students from disadvantaged backgrounds continue their studies, from primary and secondary education through to higher learning. These scholarships removed financial barriers for thousands of students, allowing them to remain in school, pursue academic excellence, and eventually contribute their knowledge and skills back to society. For many recipients, this support was life-changing, transforming education from a distant dream into a real possibility. Beyond scholarships, Her Majesty directly supported the construction and development of schools, particularly in remote and highland areas. She funded schools for children in ethnic minority and high tribe communities, ensuring they had safe learning environments and access to basic education close to home. These schools were later integrated into the national education system, helping bridge gaps between remote communities and mainstream educational opportunities. Her Majesty also placed great importance on literacy and lifelong learning. She supported the donation of books and learning materials to rural schools and community learning centers, encouraging reading as a foundation for knowledge and critical thinking. In many villages, Her Majesty helped establish shared learning spaces where children and adults alike could gather to read, study, and exchange ideas, reinforcing education as a community effort, not just an individual pursuit. What made Her Majesty's work in education especially meaningful was her personal involvement. During royal visits, she was known to take time to speak directly with students, observe lessons, and in some cases, even teach children herself, encouraging reading, writing, and discipline. These moments left lasting impressions on students and educators alike, reinforcing the message that education mattered deeply and that every child's learning journey was worthy of attention and care. Her Majesty's vision of education extended beyond academic study. Through institutes and training centers associated with her name, she supported vocational education and skills development, particularly in traditional crafts and practical trades. These programs empowered rural communities, especially women, by equipping them with skills that could generate sustainable income, preserve cultural heritage, and strengthen local economies. Education, in Her Majesty's view, was about knowledge with purpose. Her Majesty Queen Sirikit's work in education continues to inspire Thailand today, reminding us that true development begins with learning, compassion, and opportunity. Through scholarships, schools, books, personal engagement, and skills training, she helped ensure that education became a pathway to dignity and resilience for generations of Thai people. So this is one of the interests that concern her people, education. This is a topic that we would like to focus on this week.
Right. All right, let's talk about next topic. Well, everybody knows that we are going to have a general election in February 8th. One more week already.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Well, I registered to elect beforehand on the 1st
Advanced
of February.
voting?
Yeah, because my hometown is actually in Singapore province.
Right.
So I will be...
On February 1st,
Yeah,
right?
making the election on the 1st in Bangkok.
All right. So, in Thailand, the advanced voting would take place on February 1st. But abroad, it's already taken place.
Yes.
Actually, from January 19th to 30th. So it's taking place right now. Let's talk about the turnout first. The voting turnout has been quite strong, which is good news. But unfortunately, there are some reports about minor problems. Well, some are not so minor, but fortunately, they have been fixed. Over the past week, many complaints and criticisms have appeared on social media from Thais overseas who face problems exercising their voting rights, raising concerns that their votes might be lost or not counted, where some issues, however, were resolved very promptly by the relevant authorities. For example, the Royal Thai Embassy in London, some voters reported that they have received incomplete documents. Well, most received only 2 MP ballots, but actually there are 3. There are 2 MP ballots and 1 ballot for constitutional referendum.
Right.
So, well, I hope this issue has been fixed. But similar issues like missing documents were also reported in Turkey and Sweden as well. Now that the end of the vote is approaching, so another process which is very important also is the delivery of the ballots, because according to Thai law, election ballots must be counted only in Thailand, but the referendum ballots can be counted overseas. So what do these embassies need to do is to ship back these ballots to Thailand. But also there has been some report of delayed delivery. Yeah, but I hope it's going to be fixed soon, because I wouldn't say we had a lesson already from last election. I'm not sure if you remember that 1,500 ballots were sent to Thailand after the counting happened. Yeah, so that error happened. So we just try to prevent this situation not to happen again. Right.
About that issue, I'm not familiar with it, but for the latest election, I was actually involved in a way as well, because I was one of those people, who were at the certain areas of the election, and I was there to record videos and everything. So it's like a normal citizen who's trying to make sure the election goes well, nice and smooth.
Yeah, and you are right, because the counting, the public has to attend, and we must attend, because it is one of the very important process of election and for the democracy as well. So the embassies, many embassies overseas, Thai embassies overseas, would actually make a Facebook Live. Right, the counting, and the public, they kind of invite the voters to attend, to observe as well.
Yeah, a little bit serious issue there. Now I'm going to give you a little break with some sugary beverage.
I like this news.
Yes, before we jump right into our next topic, let me ask you, do you usually enjoy sugary drinks on a daily basis?
Not really for me.
For me, It's like a delicacy for every day. My everyday go-to drink. And but when you go to order these sugary drinks, there will be level of sweetness that you can choose. They would ask which
25%,
level?
50%.
Which level would you usually order?
I would go to 0.
0?
Yeah.
You're health conscious.
Sort of.
I am health conscious, but I also enjoy the good taste of it,
Right,
you know.
right.
So most of the time, 99%, it would be 50%.
Right.
But certain brands would recommend at 75, right? So, but for me, 50. But apparently, a lot of people enjoy 100% sweetness, which actually raise health concerns. And that is why we're going to jump right into this topic. Thailand's Department of Health has announced a new sugar standard setting 50% sweetness as the default baseline for made-to-order drinks starting in 2026. So what exactly is changing and why does it matter? Thailand's Department of Health has proposed a nationwide guideline that redefines the default sugar level in beverages. Under this plan, 50% sweetness will officially be considered normal, not less sweet. This applies mainly to custom-made drinks such as coffee, milk tea, Thai tea, fruit drinks, and bubble tea. And importantly, this policy does not ban sugar and does not force customers to drink less sweet beverages. Instead, it changes the reference point, encouraging people to consume less sugar without feeling like they're making a sacrifice. Now, why the government is doing this? The reason is very simple. Thailand consumes too much sugar, especially through drinks. And I do have to agree. A lot of people around me, or even celebrities, when they talk about these things, they always say, why do you order less than 100%? It doesn't taste as good, you know. People always joke around about that, but actually, a lot of people prefer 100%.
Right.
According to public health data, sugary beverages are one of the largest hidden sources of daily sugar intake, particularly among teenagers, young adults, office workers. High sugar consumption is closely linked to type 2 diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and long-term metabolic disorders.
Right.
Health officials say that even a small reduction per drink, multiplied across millions of purchases every day, can have a huge impact over time. By redefining normal, the government hopes to change habits gradually rather than through strict rules. So how will this actually look when you order a drink? So starting from February 11th this year, participating shops will treat 50% sugar as the standard setting. Consumers can still choose 0%, 25, 75 to 100. But please do note that 100 means 50 now. That's the new norm.
So it's the new baseline, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So if you order 100, you're going to get 50. But for those who want 100, probably they need to ask for 150. I'm not encouraging though. I'm just saying that there is a possibility. Studies show that when a lower option is labeled as normal, most people stick with it. Even if higher options remain available. So maybe, who knows, it's a psychological thing. If you order 100%, even though it tastes 50, but your brain just tricks you into thinking, oh, this is 100, this is okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's good for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And major beverage chains and convenience store coffee brands have already agreed to support the transition too, making this a nationwide shift rather than a small pilot program. Public response has been mixed, of course. Some consumers welcome the change, like saying drinks in Thailand are often too sweet, reducing sugar improves taste and energy levels. But others worry about losing the traditional flavor they're used to, and also confusion during the transition period as well. Because, I mean, there are many brands that you enjoy, and you might not remember which level you usually enjoy, right? But I think this will create a new norm. You know, like I said, it's a psychological thing. It tricks you into thinking this is normal. This is good now for me, right?
Right.
And health officials respond by emphasizing that choice remains, but expectations are being reset in favor of long-term health. This move reflects a broader trend across Asia, where governments are shifting from reactive healthcare to preventive policy. Rather than treating disease later, the focus is now on daily habits, subtle behavior nudges, and healthier defaults. And for Thailand, this sugar standard may be just the beginning. We'll see how it goes.
All right, now let's take a break and we'll be right back.
During Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother's royal visit to the northern provinces of Thailand, Her Majesty graciously learned of the many hardships faced by local villagers, particularly their lack of occupational knowledge and access to adequate food sources for daily living. Deeply concerned for their well-being, Her Majesty expressed her royal wish to improve the quality of life of the people. Guided by this vision, Her Majesty graciously initiated the establishment of a model farm, a center for agricultural training. The first of these farms was established in 1997 at Ban Khun Tat, Jom Thong District, Chiang Mai Province. The model farm project under the Royal Initiative was created to provide employment and improve living standards for rural communities. The project encourages villagers to pursue stable occupations and earn reliable incomes to support their families. It also promotes raising native livestock and sustainable food sources and emphasizes the conservation of natural resources to preserve ecological richness for future generations. Furthermore, the project serves as a center for agricultural education, research, and technology transfer. In addition, Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother, sought to extend assistance to those affected by the 1997 economic crisis, particularly individuals who had lost their employment. To provide them with sustainable opportunities, Her Majesty graciously commanded the expansion of the Model Farm project to other provinces across all regions of Thailand, now covering more than 17 locations nationwide. On the auspicious occasion of Her Majesty's birthday anniversary on August 12, 2002, Her Majesty delivered a royal address to well-wishers who came to offer their birthday felicitations at Dusit Dalai Hall, Jitlada Villa, Dusit Palace. In part, Her Majesty stated, quote, "I once thought that if each country could increase its food production, it would greatly help prevent famine in the future. That is why I initiated the Model Farm project. Moreover, when villagers came to me and said they had no work, and even after finishing their studies, they could not find employment, I allowed them to work at the model farms. At the same time, they learned the correct methods of raising livestock. And when they left, they could use that knowledge to raise their animals properly and sustainably." End quote. The model farm project under the Royal Initiative at Ban Khun Tat, Jom Thong District, Chiang Mai Province, has successfully created livelihoods and sustainable food sources for its residents in Doi Gao sub-district, as well as for residents of nearby communities. The project has also revitalized the local ecosystem through reforestation with native rattan species, the construction of mixed and semi-permanent check dams, and watershed rehabilitation efforts. These initiatives have restored the moisture balance of the surrounding forests and created sustainable water sources for household consumption and agriculture. Today, more than 800 households benefit from these resources, living in harmony with nature and in accordance with Her Majesty's enduring vision of self-reliance and well-being.
Sawadee. Welcome back to Thai Pulse. Now, for this break, we're gonna jump right into tourism.
Right.
I mean, tourism in Thailand has played a big part in our economy, and this particular one, I think many are taking interest because Tourism Authority of Thailand are now working together hand in hand with Lisa Blackpink.
Right. Lalisa Manoban, she's new presenter of Tourism Authority of Thailand. So, this issue will start with this particular photo. This is one of the part of the campaigns that Lalisa joined with TAT. But after this photo was launched, there is heavy criticism, also compliment, just to be fair, that this photo looks AI generated. What do you think?
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw the photo.
Your first impression, right?
Yeah.
But not mine. I mean, it looks perfect, except the fact that her hand placed in an unusual manner.
That's why.
Yeah, it looks too perfect. Well, anyways, so following this campaign, this photo in particular, now this place, which is Red Lotus Sea, located in the northeastern of Thailand, has seen a sharp rise in both Thai and international tourists. Right. So the Ministry of Tourism and Sports ordered all related agencies to coordinate closely to take care of the tourists. So this campaign actually works because it generated discussion, So the Department of Tourism is monitoring operators to prevent price gouging and ensure fair services to the tourists as well, because literally there are a lot of tourists now. And it's also a peak season of this specific site as well.
Right.
So this is Thale Buadang or Red Lotus Sea. It's seasonal natural phenomenon where red lotus flowers kind of blankets a huge freshwater lake in Udon Thani. When I say huge, I mean it's huge. It's like 8,800 something acres. So it's very picturesque. You've been there.
I've been there during COVID period actually, and it was absolutely beautiful. You absolutely need to visit, and there are a lot of water buffaloes there too. I think we will be expecting more photos of Lisa with TAT, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay, and up next is another big headline, a little bit more serious now because I think many of you who have found out about the news, like me the first time, I was scrolling as usual on my Facebook feed and this certain news popped up. And the first time I read the headline, I was shocked. And I was thinking, again?
Not this again.
We nearly just recovered from COVID-19 and now we have Nipah virus from India. And but I mean, most news, the headline would shock you, saying that it's even more serious than COVID because right now we don't have vaccines for this certain virus. But if you read the details, you would know that they just want you to be informed. They want your attention, but not to be alarmed. So again, this may sound alarming, but it requires calm, informed attention. Thailand has issued a health alert following a Nipah virus outbreak in India, prompting heightened surveillance and preparedness. As of now, there are no confirmed cases in Thailand, and hopefully it stays that way. But authorities are taking the situation seriously. Now, what is the Nipah virus? Nipah virus is a zoonotic disease, meaning it spreads from animals to humans. The virus is commonly associated with fruit bats, contaminated food, and close contact with infected individuals. Early symptoms may resemble the flu, fever, headache, and muscle pain. But in severe cases, it can progress to respiratory failure, brain inflammation known as encephalitis. Because of its high fatality rate and lack of a widely available vaccine, Nipah is classified as a priority pathogen by the World Health Organization. The recent outbreak in India has raised concerns due to regional travel connections, similar environmental conditions, the presence of fruit bats across Southeast Asia, and in Phuket there's a lot of Indian tourists too. There's at least flights each day from India to Phuket, directly to Phuket. So there's a bit of concern going on at the moment. Thailand's Department of Disease Control has responded by increasing airport health surveillance, monitoring travelers from affected regions, and coordinating hospitals for early detection. Officials stress that preparedness does not mean panic, it means readiness. Current situation in Thailand, to be clear again, there are no reported Nipah virus cases in Thailand at this time. Health authorities say the country's disease surveillance system, strengthened after COVID-19, are well equipped to identify suspected cases, isolate patients quickly, and trace contacts efficiently. Thailand is also working within a One Health framework, linking human health, animal health, and environmental monitoring. For the general public, the risk remains very low. However, basic precautions are advised. Wash fruits thoroughly before eating. Avoid consuming fruit that may be contaminated by animals. Avoid direct contact with bats or sick animals. And seek medication attention if you develop fever after travel to affected areas. Public health officials emphasize that early detection saves lives. Nipah virus reminds us of a larger reality. In an interconnected world, local outbreaks can become regional concerns very quickly. So preparedness, transparency, and public trust are essential, and Thailand's proactive response shows how lessons from past outbreaks are shaping today's policies. So we have been trained, I would say, with the past occurrence of the COVID-19. So I think we would be more prepared if Nipah happens to enter Thailand, but hopefully it does not. And at the meantime, let's hope that we will find vaccines to help make the situation better, for the people in India.
Right, especially now. I mean, now is a high season for tourism in Thailand.
Yes.
So let's hope it doesn't happen. All right, so our last issue is for the pet owners. Do you own any pets?
Yes.
So it's time to bring your cat or dog?
Yeah,
a cat.
She's been microchipped.
Oh, she's been a cat or a dog?
A cat.
A cat, right. Okay, for those who haven't done it yet, it's time to take your cats or dogs to be microchipped and vaccinated. So the BMA, Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, is offering that service right now in 10 vet clinics across Bangkok. There are also mobile units, so you need to follow BMA's Facebook to see where they are. So this act is a result of Bangkok Metropolitan Administration Ordinance on the Control of Animal Keeping or Releasing 2024. This ordinance will actually come into force on January 10th, 2027, but the BMA is doing it now in advance to prepare people as well. So the services that the BMA provide include rabies vaccination, microchip implantation, dog and cat registration, and also public education on the new Animal Control Ordinance. So don't forget, well, it doesn't say that when it's going to stop those services. I hope it's going to continue on and on. But yeah, I mean, the faster you do it, the better it is for you and for your pets as well.
Yes. So if it happens to have pets, cats or dogs, don't forget to get them microchipped. And that's all for this week's Thai Pulse. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay healthy. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ